What's going on, guys? It's the one round Ryko, otherwise known as the Puerto Rican Seto Kaiba, and today we are here with a figure I've been waiting for a while. I've had it sitting, biding my time to get it open because I had some other stuff I had to do, but we are here with the SH Monsterarts Blue Eyes White Dragon. He looks gorgeous, he moves pretty well for being a dragon thing. The accessories for what they give you are fun. I love the color they went with. But before I start gushing over this figure of my boy right here, we gotta talk about the box. This is the box it comes in. I'm gonna pull you guys out so you can see. This is the back of the box, I believe. So it has an open window where he was sitting, like he's laying down in here, but his head is cocked, so you can see him in the little lightning bolt crack in the hieroglyphics. Show what he can do. He can even hit the iconic blue eyes pose from the art. He can do that. He can hold this blast effect is called the burst stream of destruction, but I'm pretty sure it's also just the white lightning. I don't know if that's a dub thing, if that's what's different. I thought he said both in the show. I don't know what the difference is, but burst stream of destruction, white lightning. I'm going to call it white lightning because that's like the default move he uses, white lightning. But technically, the figure describes it as burst stream of destruction, so I don't know there's really a difference. And then it shows how he can look on the stand, which I will show off a little bit later as well. Nice little product shot on the side of him in the classic Blue Eyes art. Same thing on the other side. And the front's just a gorgeous product shot of Blue Eyes White Dragon himself. Gorgeous, gorgeous box. I love this. All the SH Figure Arts boxes are good. And this is my first SH Monster Art. I've been wanting to get some Godzilla figures from the line. I just haven't had a chance to. So having this one was kind of my first step into the SH Monster Arts line. And if this is anything to go off of, I really, really will like them. So just starting off, I don't have a little spinny thing, but I'll give you a quick turn here. He's got that pearlescent bluish white, even though he's Blue Eyes White Dragon, 9 times out of 10 he's shown as Blue Eyes Blue Dragon, but I will show his eyes are quite blue. The paint, the sculpt, the teeth look really nice, a nice kind of pure white, pearl white maybe. Get a little thing on his horn, let me get rid of that. The nose and like face sculpt around the eyes looks nice. The frills, I love the shading, so it goes from whiter in some places, bluer in some places. I do think they're going to do a color variant of this. I can only expect it because in the anime, he's like almost purple. It's like a dark blue. So I wouldn't doubt they'd get their money's worth and re-release this one again in a different color scheme. It's not unheard of for the SH Figure Arts line to release the same figure with different colors or different accessories. They would never, ever do that. But I expect this to be a recolor at some point. I don't know if they can get away with doing that with the Red Eyes they released as well, because he's only ever Red Eyes Black Dragon. He's not Red Eyes Purple Dragon. But they can probably find a way to, event color exclusive or whatever to make it work. I wouldn't be surprised. But I'd be more ready and willing and expecting a different coloration of this. The body moves pretty well, so I'm going to start with the tail. You can go all the way straight and go down pretty well, kind of curve in, go side to side pretty well, up pretty well. Everything feels nice in here. Nothing feels too like delicate or loose, but obviously don't sit there and try to break it. But everything moves pretty well. The body has the same kind of things as well. He can crunch in and lower down. He can rise up. Go with the wings. The wings are on a little ball joint. They can go back and forth and can kind of move up and down depending on how you maneuver them. Just be careful with them. They are a little bit heavier, but that's what the stand is for, to kind of help hold them in place. And as you can see as I'm messing with the one over here, they can fold in like so or extend out and have a little bit of gapping, but that's what you spread these out for. And there you go. Let me move you up a bit so you can see that better. So you can all the way out. They can kind of fold in on themselves. And there is a little bit of movement up here at the top. I think my right one's a little looser than the left, but it still holds up pretty well. And I'll probably pose him with the stand anyway, so that's going to be holding that in place. So he won't have to suffer the weight of his own wings on his own, really. and they can fold in like they show on the box to kind of cover himself if you want to. That's what the little articulation at the top is for, kind of bringing them in. Maybe you're putting him in defense position. I don't know, if you put Blue Eyes in defense position, you're crazy. We're all attack all day. The neck can move very well. He can look straight up. Maybe, you know what? Now that I'm looking at him doing like the straight up to the sky, I want a atomic breath effect from a Godzilla figure, because that would look perfect. Just a blue burst effect put in his mouth. I think he's just shooting it upwards. That would look great. Now I got to keep that in mind. He can look down really well because he can curl his neck side to side, all around. You can snake it. So really good neck. I like the neck. The head can swivel, you know. He can kind of look left, kind of look right, up and down. The actual frills on the back of his head, I don't know if those are to be considered frills, but I don't know what else to call them, so I'm going to call them frills. They can move as well. The little side pieces obviously don't move, and you noticed his jaw can open. His tongue can move around a bit. It's kind of attached to the jaw itself. You can move it up. You can even hit him with the "Hey, you guys" type mouth, but he can keep his mouth more or less completely closed. Not often he'll be doing that, because most of the time he's roaring or, you know, firing a blast attack of some kind. The arms can move pretty well. They're a little bit limited. I kind of wish he had articulated fingers, but I get why not. It's never really shown to be able to do that in the show, and it's a claw. Typical little ball joint. He can move around and go rawr. He does have a little bit of an elbow, so you can get him in like an action pose, like, yeah. So he can get his leg up and he can do a kick. Never seen a Blue Eye do a kick before, huh? But yes, the arms move pretty well. Of course, it's not crazy like Goku levels of he can do punches and kicks and all that, because it's a dragon, so you gotta accept the limitations on what it is, but they don't bother me none. He can kick out pretty far, honestly. Not much for a 90-degree like to the side, but he can do like a yeah. Can't really go back. That's about far as it goes outward. He does have a little bit of a knee, so you can like hit a kind of dash away pose like so, with his mouth doing the thing again. Let me scoot you guys back a bit. His feet, no articulated toes or anything. They're basically just there to help keep him upright, but they can move around pretty well. Again, you can maneuver them. I think there's a better way to do that. I don't know if this inner piece, I think it is on its own little joint. Yeah, because it's moving. So you got to kind of work with it, but it does move. I'd be careful with those smaller joints. They look a little bit, they'd be more delicate than the rest. And thankfully, even though his wings can kind of droop a bit depending on what you're trying to do with them, they do hold pretty well. If you extend them all out, he can be in a pose and support himself very decently because he has his tail. You can put his tail all the way up and then wiggle his legs back a bit. He can have more like an upright pose, like roaring back, or the kind of more Blue Eyes pose. He seems to always be more hunched over in the arts or like in the show, because you know he's flying and usually looking down on his weakling opponents, but it can stand on its own just fine. So I like that about it. You can pose it how you want. Like I said, it is a little heavy because, you know, wings. That's just every figure that has wings usually has that kind of issue. But it's nothing bad, and you can pose him up pretty well. He can move more or less exactly how you'd want him to in the position you'd want. Now with what he came with, he has this base. Kind of wish it said like Blue Eyes on it or Kaiba, or like had the KC logo on it or something, but it is just a standard white base. It comes with several arms. The first two, these are the wing arms. You see they got a little V cut in there. Those are to hold his wings in place, and they are maneuverable, of course. I think that part is removable if you wanted it to be. The other one it comes with is a little cradle for the chest, so it holds in like about like so to give it that support that it needs. I believe it'd probably go on like this one here, and you'd kind of set it on there. I think this comes off as well, but again, why would you take it off? I mean, no point. And then this is the blast effect holding one, very similar to the ones you get from the They're almost exactly the same one, probably the same exact ones you get from the Metal Robot Spirits figures. So if I ever need an extra and I'm not using it on Blue Eyes, I can just steal this one and put it on Wing to help hold his gun, because he can't hold his gun. And then the funniest one is this blast effect here. Oops. We have the White Lightning / Burst Stream of Destruction blast effect. Oh, wait, my bad. Sorry, wrong one. The Blue Eyes, the White Lightning / Burst Stream of Destruction blast effect. I just think it's hilarious that it's literally the little Kamehameha effects, just bigger. And it's even the lightning that they put on, like you see on Vegeta back here. It's the same lightning that they have on some of their figures or on the aura effects, just kind of wrapped around the base ball here. And in the promo shots, it shows that he can hold this in his mouth on his own. I don't really think he can. I mean, if you kind of just shove it in there. Oh, I'll be damned. Look at that. So he can. It's a loose fitting. There's no joint that really, like, jams it in there. It's literally you just stick it in his mouth and he'll just bite down on it and hold on to the blast. But that's really it there. There's nothing securing it in. You could probably BS your way of securing it if you wanted to use like blue tack or something else like that. You could. But for safety's sake, or just, convenience, it does just secure right onto this, and you can have it be held by the stand in front of him so he can have his White Lightning, Burst Stream of Destruction, whatever you want to call it. And I think that's good. There's no other real effects they could add to this to make it better, because he does one move. It's a dragon. It breathes lightning or fire. If you want to be lame, breathing lightning is the cooler option. But I hope if they do go further into the Yu-Gi-Oh! SH Monsterarts, we get like a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and then he can have the 3 blasts to form the Neutron Blast attack, and maybe like they have a conjoined middle part, or they can each hold the blast, and then they have like a burst effect, or what's it called? The Atomic Breath, where it's like a line, like one of these, if you will, but it's the combined Neutron Blast attack. I think that would be cool. I can only imagine that the next one's probably going to be Dark Magician, because they've done Blue Eyes, they've done Red Eyes. It makes sense, and I think Dark Magician would make sense to not be in the typical line of just SH figure arts, because even though it's humanoid, it's also a monster, and I think it'd make more sense to be closer in scale to Blue Eyes. Granted, Blue Eyes isn't necessarily big. I think he stands, if he's all the way upright, maybe like 7 inches. I know the average SH figure arts is about 6, and he's got about a head on Ultra Instinct Goku here. And also, here's a comparison of your average SH figure arts compared to Blue Eyes White Dragon here. So I think he's about 7, because he's not 9, not by a long shot, because he doesn't pose up to, like, say, the Flame Toys Megazord we have back here. He's pretty small compared to it, about halfway. So I think he's probably closer to like the 7-ish range, just because of the proportions of him and how he stands. Now, as for the other comparisons I'm going to do, we already did the SH figure art just because he happened to be there, but the real first comparison has to be the first. We have the Blue Eyes White Dragon figure from way back in the day. This is the one where you put a blast in his mouth and you push this button and shoot it. This one was from Emerald Gamer. He had this one and he was willing to give it to me because I'm Puerto Rican Seto Kaiba. I'm the Blue Eyes guy. I'm the Dragon guy. So you can see where we started and where we are now. It's the meme of, I'm so glad I grew up with this, but this is so much better. I love, you can see how far we've come from basically a chunk of plastic that can't move but gets the point across. It looks like Blue Eyes, you know what it is, to an articulated figure that can really be expressive and look great on a shelf, and you can really play with. And right now, with the Red Eyes one out, you can make like a Yu-Gi-Oh duel where you have one on one side and one on the other and make it look like an actual duel, because we don't have holograms yet. Konami, when are we going to get the holograms? As for the next one, it's one I hope they release in this line at some point in the future. This is my own childhood one. This is the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon figure, same gimmick where it has a blast. and it has a little thing on the back where it goes, you can rotate how the heads go, so it goes rah. And then my favorite part about this is it's got the effect in there, and you can actually switch it from one or a short one, or it's a longer one if you put it on the second setting. This one I got years ago as a kid, and I've held on to it ever since. I also do have the Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. He's a little beat up though, and he's in my closet somewhere, but I do have that one. I hope they release this one in this line at some point. I would love that. It would go great with this, because I don't want to have to go buy 3 and then fuse them myself, you know. But then another comparison, just the standard, we got the boy himself. We have Easy 8 standing up next to him. Again, about shorter than it by a head or so, just because the nature of the size of the figure and its shape and all that nonsense. The design, I guess. So, and this one wouldn't seem too out of place if you had a giant dragon battling a robot like this. It doesn't seem too out of scale, so you could make it work, and that'd be pretty fun. And then one more, because this is like the only other monster figure I really have. All I have is mainly robots and people. We have the NECA Toys Godzilla, green goo edition, if you will. They stand up pretty well, and it also is kind of fun seeing Blue Eyes square off against Godzilla. I don't know why he's covered in green stuff. Blue Eyes only shoots out, I guess, blue stuff or white stuff, depending on who you ask. But they look pretty well together, and it would be cool to have like Godzilla facing off with Blue Eyes, 2 iconic monsters of their franchises going at it. I think Godzilla still wins, because Godzilla is Godzilla, but Blue Eyes is the GOAT, so I'm very happy with this. It looks great. It moves well enough for what it needs to be, and it's going to go on my Blue Eyes shelf with my other Blue Eyes thing, so I'm really excited about that. It's going to look great next to my First 4 Figures statue, because I couldn't do a video on that one because that was way too big. That was a whole deal. But it's going to look great next to that. I hope they continue this line. I think Blue Eyes was successful enough to show them that the money's worth it, and that Red Eyes, I think, did well as well. So I'm hoping they continue on. I don't know what other dragons they could do right away. I think Blue Eyes and Dark Magician Girl are almost guaranteed at this point, because why wouldn't you? I don't think they'd be in the SH Figure Arts line. I think they'd be in the bigger scale Monsterarts, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I'm excited either way, as long as I get more. Imagine like a Slifer. They did a giant Slifer or something. It'd probably be as limited as the Shenron, but it'd still be cool to have that they did the God cards in this line. Oh, an opposable obelisk would go hard. I would love that. Again, as Puerto Rican Seto Kaiba, I would need that. But if you can snag this, it's still going. This thing is still live on BBTS for like $140. If you can get it for like around $140, $150, that's great. I paid $125 for mine from Awesome Collector. That was the last place that had them available at the time, and they got me the figure in great time, and looks great. Didn't break it or anything. So you can still get this. It's pretty easy to snag, what it seems like. So if you're a fan, I'd grab one. Honestly, I'm still playing around with the idea of picking up 2 more over time, just to have the 3, just to make the joke. Kaiba has 3 of them. But, you know. Anyway, if you like what you see, leave a like down below and subscribe for more content like this, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Figure reviews, and Beyblades. And check me out on Twitter, Twitch, and Blue Sky as well. I'm on basically whatever social media, mainly those ones. I stream on occasion, usually Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, that's why I'm plugging it here. But anyway, I've been the one, Raul and Raiko. We'll see you guys next time.